again YouTube, Mad Dog here. I thought I'd do something a little bit different and just do a random selection of did you know type of videos, just little snippets of, you know, out the old memory banks, off the cuff, little snippets of info that you might find useful, if not interesting, you know, who knows. Please double check anything that I do come out with, because I'm an old guy now, I'm rusty and the old grey matter isn't as sharp as it used to be. So that being said, I'll just throw these little videos in between my normal rubbish content. So I thought I'd choose for this little snippet video victim number 1, which will be the dreaded mosquito. We all love that little fella, right? Yeah. So fact number 1, did you know that when you get bit by a mosquito, it is always the female that bites you? Ain't that the way? Pretty much standard practice there then. The reason being that the female draws the blood out of the victim because it needs the fats and proteins within the blood to allow it to make eggs within its body. The male, on the other hand, will live off pollen off plants. So when you get bit with a mosquito, sorry lads, she's done you again, mate. Sorry. It's usually the female. Well, it is always the female. Mosquitoes live between 6 and 8 months from adolescence, from their adult life onwards. The famous buzzing sound that mosquitoes, obviously we all really love that sound, don't we? As outdoors people, we're all very familiar with that. That's because the wings are beating at between 600 and 800 beats per minute. So that being said, although they've got a fast beat rate of the wings, they can only fly at 1 to 1.5 miles an hour, which makes them one of the slowest bugs on the planet. So, you know, mosquitoes are never going to win no bug races. Famously, mosquitoes are the deadliest bug to us, basically, on the planet, because of, you know, the bad stuff that they pass on to us. They transmit, obviously, malaria, yellow fever. There's, I think, another 2 or 3 that I can't remember now. But also a lesser known fact is they transmit a little thing called heartworm, which, whilst it isn't necessarily detrimental to us humans, is fatal or can be fatal to dogs. So if you're in an environment where it's hot and humid and swampy, you know, and you're taking your dog for a run round and a walk, be mindful of that, because you're putting your dog at risk. Mosquitoes can actually kill dogs. So it's worth remembering that little snippet. Talking of water, mosquitoes need at least 1 inch of water, stagnant water, to continue breeding, because that's where they lay the eggs, obviously, as we all know that anyway. So if you're in a hot climate, a humid climate especially, you've had good downpour of rain and it leaves little puddles and pockets of water everywhere, sweep them away as best as you can from around wherever you're staying, whether it be home or camp, to minimise the accommodation of a mosquito infestation. So, you know, get rid of their habitat and it minimises your exposure, basically. What else can I tell you about mosquitoes? Their syringe, I can never remember the name. There's a technical name for the actual spike, the syringe, the straw that they stab you with. On the end of that straw, if you like, syringe, there's 47 sharp cutting edges under a microscope, and that's what enables them to penetrate clothing, penetrate skin and draw the blood. So they haven't actually got teeth per se like we have. So when you say mosquito bite, it isn't really a bite, it's an injection. So, you know, that's the initial sting that you feel, is them 47 barbs, if you like, cutting into your skin. Which, that straw is attached to the mouth permanently, obviously. What else can I say about the mosquitoes? Repellents. A little myth here, that we'll buy repellents, whether it be citrus or one that I'm familiar with. Back in the day, we used to always carry Avon Gold skin cream because it repels mosquitoes. It doesn't actually repel mosquitoes, it makes you less visible to mosquitoes. It makes you more camouflaged by hiding your natural odours, etc. And the next fact that I'm going to go into, which is CO2, your exhaled breath. That's how a mosquito hones in on its victim. It's sensitive to CO2 and will hone in on your breath. And I think, if memory serves me right, they can detect CO2 being exhaled from up to like a 75 feet radius or more in some cases. So again, if you're in a tent or your situation, if you can keep your face covered to dissipate more locally your breath, then again you're reducing your risk of attracting mosquitoes to start with. So repellents don't repel, they camouflage you, if that makes sense. So it's a little myth buster there. I'm just trying to think of anything else I can remember off the cuff for mosquitoes. I think I've covered the live from 6 to 8 months, etc. I think that's about it for this one, so I'll wrap it up at that for now. So I hope you find some of this useful, if not interesting. Thank you all very much for staying with me and your continued support. Really appreciate it, guys and lasses. Mad Dog signing off. Take care. Yeah!